This season of MFL brought in one of their most exciting innovations in match plans, and this has been a huge part of my gameplay experience so far this year, where it's been really about deep end swimming, really going into the squad management and then even into further detail into the game management, the match plans, and all the tactics that go around that. We're trying to navigate playing in the cup and playing against top of the table, 6-pointers against teams you should be beating. And with 4 teams in my little football network that I've got here, built up of, teams that have got really expensive and really high pushing players in it, all the way down to the team in the free-to-play mode, it's made every level of the game really engaging for me, and I've had a lot of fun keeping myself across all 4 clubs, in particular the community-based team, which is made up entirely of your players in it, where, we're trying to get promoted, win some in-game currency for all the members here in the community here on the channel. And we're now at the mid-season break, where we can take a wee pause for the cause, have a look at the progression we've had this season, things we've learned, things that have worked, and things we're going to improve on coming into the second half of the season. At any point in the video, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you're brand new to MFL and you've not yet opened up your account, there's a link in the description in this video that will always be locked and loaded with the best sign-up bonuses available. Also in the description you'll find all the beginner tutorial videos that you'll need in case you're looking for those videos to help you, learn the ropes, that sort of thing. If you do get stuck, if you've got any questions, just jump into the comment section and I will help you out. MFL sponsor the content here at the channel, so by clicking on that link you do directly support me. So if you do get stuck, please reach out, I will help you. But yeah, let's just get stuck straight into it, because these mid-season videos are always a point of reflection. What's went well for us, if I can spit that out, what's worked, what hasn't, what do we need in the mid-season transfer window, and what are the objectives now coming into the second half of the year. Where are we in the table, the cups, all that sort of thing. And I've got to say, first of all, I was so buzzing to come on to do this video today, to be able to say we have progressed in every single cup group stage. The free-to-play team that MFL has launched this year, so anyone who is brand new, you don't actually need to spend a penny to play a season, to try and, a little bit of try before you buy or whatever. And we just about came out of the group stage here with 4 wins, 12 points. Looks quite comfortable in the end, but we're now into the knockout round of the cup competition with the free-to-play team, which is a lot of fun. My academy team, which is all first owner players, except for like maybe 1 or 2 of them that I'm looking to kind of, farm players that can then move into my first team if they can progress and have good seasons and watch their statistics improve, their attributes, is finally going on a little bit of a cup run of its own. We won 3, lost 3, the 9 points is just about enough to get us through. And my first team, FC Barcelona, or FC Barcelona's Prime as I'm kind of referring to them in videos, just about squeaks through on goal difference here. All 3 teams that I own and operate have went completely through. Sadly, by the skin of our teeth, the foundation, the community team, was 1 point short. This team has been under a lot of pressure when it comes to rotation. We have a good squad again. We are fighting up and towards the table. Work the space, the football manager living icon that he is, I suppose, is reigning high at the top of the table. He is still undefeated. We drew with him earlier this year. We've got a really good head-to-head against Work the Space. I think it's probably about neck and neck. Maybe even, it might be like we've beat him once and it's been 3 draws, or it's very, very tight. It might just about edge us though. We drew with him this season again. We've got a return match from him right around the corner. But this year, the community squad is like a best 11 and then rotation, guys. Last year and in years gone by when we've been more successful, we've had maybe like a best 15, and then the rotations haven't always been a bit of a handicap. We've kind of walked ourselves into this 4-2-2-2 system. It's worked really, really well. We've had good play from the strikers. We've had good performance and good progression. Let me just magnify and so you can see this a little bit better. But we've had good progression, it feels like, from really everyone. If we look at the current season, plus ones, we've got a few of them. But individual statistics, I might need to zoom out once or twice, just so, yeah, it's maybe a wee bit zoomed out, but maybe you guys can see it okay on screen. But lots of progression for all the players that are playing. Even the ones that are rotating in are getting some nice progression also. And when we look at their performance, some very good match ratings. And for me, this is one of the big drivers, one of the main things that dictates how well and how fast people do progress. And again, the guys with the high average ratings with high minutes, high appearances are the ones that we'll see greatly influencing matches. Again, similar to last year, we've got like the striker leading the scoring. We don't really have too many. We've got a few guys making assists. I suppose they're quite well spread actually, aren't they? But we're very reliant on these 2 guys for goals. This guy, Ches Segledi, scored a banger of a free kick, by the way. So Bald Sherlock, we've got we've got a talismanic striker in attack here in terms of the second string. He's played 4 games, got 2 goals, and say one of them was a banger of a free kick. And we're right around that zone again with the community team where we should be pushing into the promotion conversation. We're maybe just a little bit disconnected. In the mid-season window, we can bring in 2 new transfers. I might look at trying to change some tactics in the shape a little bit now that we're at this stage of the season to keep the opposition on their toes, as it were, and try and maximise some of the squad that we have. But we don't really have too many concrete options that we can flip between. So if you are a channel member and you've got a card, ideally we're looking for someone that lifts the level. Wow, we've actually never had so many blues in the squad. I think in years gone by, actually, look, yeah, I think this is the first time I'm kind of realising this, but we've actually got a lot of blues compared to years gone by. Now, one of them is a backup goalkeeper, one of them is a CM that we've not really managed to figure into the mix here, but the best 11 is probably as highly rated as it's ever been. So I think, yeah, we're kind of looking for another 75 or 76 level player that could maybe come in. I wouldn't even necessarily to upgrade anyone in particular, but maybe to give us a different tactical option in the squad. We've got a lot of CDMs, a lot of cams. We have a little bit of wing utility, LM, RM. We do have RW, LW, so we might actually, yeah, LW, RW for the cams. Yeah, we might try and mix this up a bit. So anyway, we're kind of open to anyone, but let's try and keep them in that type of spot. I'll probably try and figure out a new little tactical blend coming into the second half of the season, because we want, sadly with no cup, we've only got the league to focus on. Taking down Work the Space to win the league is probably going to be a little bit beyond us, but it is our second game after the mid-season break, and if we're going to do it, we're going to need to be the first people to beat them. We're going to need to go in there and get the W. And MFL seasons are very often, by the way, seasons of 2 halves, so I'm not ruling us out here. We've got 6 draws to our name. Convert a couple of them into wins, get a scalp or 2, a few 6-pointers, and anything's possible for me. Now, as well as doing well in the Cup, the grassroots team, the free-to-play team that you can see, we've got the option here to upgrade and mint and convert into a fully fledged MFL club licence, is flying high. Hoodwink, friend of the channel, friend of the community, is reigning supreme at the top of the table. We played earlier this year, we drew 0-0. We have a return match actually the same night as Work the Space. That might be a very interesting match day for us, certainly. The Academy team lost the last game before the mid-season break, and we are neck and neck at the top of the table to try and win the Ice Division. This is a stated ambition for me. With one spark, I've never won Ice, and I want to get some more trophies into the cabinet. This is one of the missions of the Academy, so we've got a huge 6-pointer against this team. Again, wow, second game after the break. The team that just beat us, Lemuel, are in third, massive 6-pointer. That's our first game out after the break, so it is no rest for the wicked when it comes to the Ice Division for the Academy team. And for Barcelona Prime, you know, Rowan Goldfeathers are sitting perched quite nicely at the top, and we're involved in a little 3-man fight for the last 2 spots for the playoffs. Again, 5 draws is quite considerable. All these teams here are quite, like, we've all only lost 1. Very, very tight up here in Iron. And again, look at that, second game out after the break. We're taking on Metaverse Wizards. Now, for all the teams I own, we actually have a cup game not too far away in the fixture list. So, massive 6-pointers, do or die games in the cup right around the corner. And I've had some good progression so far this year. I've tried to zoom in so you can see the stats a little bit nicer. You can see what club they're at and how the stats are going. I've just had my goalkeeper break into legendary status. He's about to retire, and he's been progressing ever since I picked him up. And this is not a bad example, by the way, of even buying a guy who's old. Like, I think I bought him just as he turned 83 maybe, or it just moved up 1 statistic when I bought him, and then he announced retirement not too long ago. He'll retire at the age of 35, which is, yeah, not too far away, but he's now became a legendary goalkeeper, which is a huge improvement. I've had guys like Wagner move up +1. A lot of good progression this year across the main players in my 2 bigger squads. And then there's been some other ones kind of jotted around, some individual stats, dicing around as well. And I think this is going to be it's going to play a big factor, I think, in the second half of the season. Because if I can continue to get key players, good players that are playing all the time, they've got a nice balance in the squad, they're playing against good opposition, they're getting the wins, they're getting the progression. We're at the top of the table. If we can kind of bank in on some of this now and convert some of those draws into wins. Again, look at the amount of +1s I'm just getting with considerable players. That performance-wise, if we look at that, these are all the guys that are performing very, very well. Emmanuel Lecoq is on 19 goals for this season, which is beautiful to see. If we look at the top performers across the agency, it's, 3 goals for Salamanca, 7.6. That's good to see him so high. And yeah, is he top scorer across the agency? He is, by the way. Grant down, but with the 3 team on 7 goals is fun. That team does get a lot of high scoring victories. Nasser is just about there with 9, isn't he? Assist wise, McCrae, Madzi Hadzi. Yeah, it's all the low ranking guys that are really popping big with assists. At the top level, that's a bit harder to really unlock for me, it feels like. Yeah, lots of good high quality minutes for some of the veterans of the agency, some of the heroes of the club. And yeah, there really is no time to waste. I'm really looking forward to coming out the second half of the season, all guns blazing. Certainly looking to get promoted with the academy team. If the grassroots team can go on and win that Flint division, I would love that trophy, so I'm really trying to push them in that direction. The foundation only has the league to focus on, but across all the cup competitions I'm in, could I win 2 trophies, 3 trophies, 4 trophies this season? There's so much, maybe even 5. There's so much in front of us this year. I'm really looking forward to the second half of the year, and I think the second half of the season here, we're going to have a lot more match day watch-alongs, because it's this time of the year where the points really mean something, where the cup games are all in. And I look forward to catching you guys along with it all as well. On screen and now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. If you haven't done so already, please do hit subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you on some live match watch-alongs as we get into the second half of the season. Let me know how you're getting on this season down in the comment section as well. If you're a member, obviously nominate some players also. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one.